Hi everyone, I'm Zoreen. This is Esports Network, and I have the pleasure of speaking to Miss Harvey today. Hi, Miss Harvey. How are you?
Hi, I'm good, and you?
Good, thank you. Good. I'm actually really excited to have you on the show. I've actually wanted to interview you for a long time, so I'm really happy that you're here.
Yay!
Yeah, so it looks like you've been really busy lately. To kick us off, why don't you tell us a little bit more about what you've been up to lately? I saw you went to Katowice as well.
I just came back from Katowice. I was on the desk for the female tournament, which I love. I love being on the desk. And right before that, I won a qualifier with my Canadian team for WEGS, so World Electronic Sports Game in China. It was a controversial, I would say, qualifier because there's only one slot available for all of North America.
Oh wow!
And we had 5 teams, so 3 American teams and 2 Canadian teams. So we had to beat everyone pretty much to make it there, and we did. And we're going next week to China to represent Canada amongst the female teams.
Wow. Okay, so I'm going to ask you about that later, but going back to the desk stuff that you're doing, that's really cool. I mean, it seems like you're balancing a lot being a player and being, personality and analyst on the desk. How did I guess the desk being on the desk opportunity come about?
Well, it's the second time I do desk. I did DreamHack Austin 2 years ago, and pretty much I freaking loved it. In Austin, I was extremely nervous because I didn't know if I had, if I was good at it or, if I would like it. And I prepared like crazy for that event. It was only North American teams and like a couple international, I think SK was there and then Immortals was there at the time. But I just loved it so much, and I thought to myself, when I retire, this is sort of thing I would actually really truly feel that this is where I belong. And I haven't retired yet. I'm still playing. And then for the female event, I didn't qualify with my team, which was really sad because it was going to be the first time I missed Katowice Intel Challenge. I've played in all of them.
Wow.
And the Joe Miller from ESL is a good friend of mine. We've known each other for pretty much a decade now. Was looking for talent on the desk, and he asked me, and I said yes. I really want to do it. I love doing the desk, so that's how it happened.
That's so cool. I think it'd be really awesome actually to see you do more of that stuff, like be an analyst and be on the desk. Is that something you'd consider transitioning to more full time?
I'm not sure this is something I would want to do full time, just because it seems consuming and so many other things I love to do. But it's definitely something I want to do. The thing is that I think for being on the desk and being analyst, if you're not an ex-pro, and if you're a minority, which I am, in Counter-Strike, you have to do your own work. You have to actually invest so much time into getting respected within the community. And unfortunately, I'm a female gamer. I'm Miss Harvey, and this has been pretty rough. I know for Austin, a lot of people thought I did a good job, but the chat was really cancerous.
Oh gosh.
So it also depends, if a company wants to jump on board these kind of issues. They know to have a lot of hate if I'm on a desk, whether I'm doing a good job or not.
Nah, don't worry about the haters. Seriously, that's crazy to me though, because you're Miss Harvey, right? You're a pioneer for CSGO players around the world, and it's crazy to me that you still have to, think about that kind of stuff at all.
Well, yeah, but for me, I don't really think about it that much. As long as I do the best that I can, I don't do any blatant mistakes, and I really truly enjoy what I'm doing. I need to leave what I'm doing and feel fulfilled, I guess, and being on the desk makes me feel that way.
Well, that's good. Now, I did actually want to ask you, given your legacy and your experience in the female CSGO scene, what do you think about the current state of it? I feel like we're kind of hitting a peak right now, which is really great. There's a lot of growth, and especially seeing the Intel Challenge and the response to it at Katowice was really encouraging. But I'd like to know what your take on that is.
Yeah, it's very interesting because the Intel Challenge has been around for 4 years. It was the fourth year now, and we never had these kind of positive vibe after it. There's so many things that I can think about why it's happening. I think the community is more mature about it. There's more and more female gamers that want to get involved. I also think that they split the female and the male event for CSGO in different weekends. And I wonder if that could have affected because we were treated more as a quote-unquote main event there. Like, we were in a side event. We had a big stage just like PUBG, PUBG stage was amazing, by the way. But we had we had our own stage. We were on the CSGO ESL _ CSGO main challenge on Twitch. And I wonder if that didn't have an impact regarding the presence that CSGO had that weekend. Although it was the same weekend as Star Ladder, over there, I felt like since it was the only CSGO thing going on, like people that like CSGO came to watch it. And, like I said, it wasn't like a side event for the first time. So I wonder if that made a difference. I think maybe the community is just ready. We're just ready to have like our female stars shine and not just like be in the shadow of toxicity and just always talk about how we're victims, which I hate. Which I don't think as female gamers we do at all. I think it's the media that portrays us like this. It's always making sure they ask us questions that makes us look like victim, and we as gamers always have to be conscientious of that and twist around their questions, which not a lot of female gamers know how to do, right? So it's like, tell me about what you get told in this is the question I guess asked all the time. Give me an example of what the kind of things that people tell you and that are really mean. And I'm just like, why would I give them exposure? I don't want to talk about that. I'd rather talk about how the rest of the time, it's great. So most of the times, even I sometimes get caught out to, they say a lot of things about my body, whatever, what they would do to have sex with me. But the thing is that doesn't matter. What matters is let's move forward, solutions, So it's always the media portraying us not always, but a lot of the time it's the media trying to portray us as victims, which in a way you can say that, we're a minority in a male-dominant environment. Of course, we're going to have struggle, but yeah.
I would rather focus on other things, right? Every time one of those stories comes out, it's kind of like oh boy, here we go again, right? It's all happening again. And
I think it's fine to raise awareness. I just think the message needs to be evolved. We still see things that we saw 5 to 10 years ago regarding these kind of issues. People are tired of reading it. It doesn't help the discussion. We need to move forward and make things better.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly it. I think that's it. It doesn't help the situation when stuff like that comes out and happens. Yeah. But that being said, you said it's the 4th run of the Intel Challenge, and that's really great. Do you yourself feel like it's had an impact in encouraging more females to play the game, or have you seen growth yourself?
I think that every time that a female is showcased, it gives a platform for another female to see it and be inspired. That's how I started in 2003. I saw the ESVC back then was the big events, and I saw a female gamer get close to it or attend it, and I was like, oh my god, I want to be here. I want to do this. This is exactly what I want to be. And I've seen girls in my career attend events, and they told me that's how they felt when they saw me at events, So I see a lot of comments you don't necessarily need to see other women succeed to get inspired, and I do agree with it. I just think that a couple of times it does make a difference for a lot of people to see someone that looks like you, that feels like you, that you can kind of belong to or feel like you belong with. And that's, for me, that's how I get inspired. If I see other women succeed, I kind of want to be it too, if that makes any sense. But if I see other guys do good, it's not that I don't want to do good at all or I don't get inspired. It's just a different kind of feeling. It doesn't get me to my bones. Like I want to sacrifice everything that I want to be to do this, right? While when it's a women, it does feel that way for me. And I'm pretty sure a lot of the girls and women can feel that same way too.
Yeah, yeah. How long do you think it'll be before we see like a mixed team up on the CSGO, like during a major main event?
I think we're really far from that. We need to have just more women get involved. And eventually at some point, we're going to have women that are just as good as guys at the top level. But right now, I don't know if that's realistic to say that.
That's interesting. I feel like we're actually like on the cusp of it maybe happening. Like it's sort of like, I feel like in the next 2 years, we'll see, you know, female players start to mix in with the guys or like, you know, trying to, you know, try out for spots and stuff. So I personally think that we're really close and it's about to happen. And I'm really, really excited to see that happen.
I think it's a little further than 2 years in CS, but in other games where the female fan base is bigger,
right.
Like Overwatch or maybe like PUBGs or Fortnite, if it goes esports, these kind of games which are newer, which have bigger female fan base, I think it's going to happen pretty soon, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're saying it's because the CSGO scene, I guess, has a smaller pool of female players who play and actively, right?
And it's been like too long, if that makes any sense. And like to reach the level of experience and knowledge and just skill that these guys have, you need like actually superstars and gems, like people that are just like talented beyond crazy, like these Stewie or these like people that are really young, but they're so rare even within the male community. I doubt anything is going to happen like that for females. That's why I think CS is kind of doomed in a way that like it's going to be very hard for a female to just jump on board, but I do believe it's still important to showcase because it is also one of the strongest female-based game established. You know, we have like legends, we have people that have been there for years, we have a small market, so this can inspire other girls in other games as well to succeed.
Oh, that's a good point. What would you who would you rank as the female pros to keep an eye on right now?
In the CS? Well, I really don't know much about the European community because there isn't that many tournaments anymore. I used to follow it like crazy, like online events and all that kind of stuff, but there isn't that many events. It's like once a year we have an event, and it's really hard to keep up with the girls. But I was really impressed with that girl Candy at Katowice. She was really, really good, and she's going to WEGs. I'm glad she's not in my group at the beginning because I feel that she was really good. And there are some newcomers on left and right, like really, really young people, like Emmy on CLG Red. I see play outside of CLG Red a lot. She's really talented. There's, Claudia hasn't been able to travel internationally to compete, but she's one of the best female player I've ever seen. And unfortunately, she hasn't showcased it internationally. But there's a lot of little success stories here and there that are really, really talented. And like I said, unfortunately, we can't really see it because there isn't that many things going on. Like one tournament isn't enough for you to say, oh, this is the player to watch.
Right. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, but Candy, I thought it was really impressive. And I really think Vilga is one of the best players in the world. She's already established as one of them, but every time I see her play, she impresses me. She really, really rarely slack.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And Goosebreeder obviously is
yes.
Well, now she's not a newcomer anymore, you know? But
yeah,
Goosebreeder is damn, she's really talented.
Yeah, no, definitely. I don't think you can discount the skills of those players, especially, having seen their performances in the past and how established they are as well. That pretty much wraps up all my questions. Thank you so much for your time, Miss Harvey. And did you want to make any shout outs to your fans or say anything in particular to them?
Yeah, absolutely. My fans are the greatest. Thank you so much for supporting me. We don't know how we call ourselves, like the RV Nation or the Pew Crew. We're not sure. But thank you so much. And good luck to us in China. I'm really proud of the girls to make it there. And thank you so much for supporting us in making there.
Yeah, definitely look out for you in China. Looking forward to see how your team goes.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. And for more CSGO coverage, be sure to check us out on Esports Network.